Today, I want to talk about excuses. There's two ways we can look at this. I used to say it's okay to give yourself grace and, progress not perfect. But there comes a time when we give into our excuses and we use it as a crutch. For example, I had committed to doing something yesterday. There was 5 tasks that I had to complete. I had told myself I'd commit to these 5 things. I'm going to get these done. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm working on this new, if you guys are seeing a theme here, I'm working on focusing and being very disciplined, very committed, and very structured, because that is not something that comes easy to me. And in order to continue to learn and grow and up-level my own life and business, I need to continue pushing past the things that make me uncomfortable or maybe that I'm not that great at. And not saying that I need to be disciplined or committed 1,000% of the time, but just imagine the results that I would see, since I am such an action taker, if I stayed committed and disciplined to my results. This shit would be 10x, 100x. There would be no stopping me. I would be unstoppable. You would be unstoppable. I just burped. I had a smoothie this morning. It's my first day with no coffee. We'll see how it goes. But yesterday, I had these 4 out of 5 tasks that I needed to get done. I'll spare you the details. The one thing that I needed to do was very, very, very simple. Very simple. It was not hard at all. It was literally to take a photo of myself. Super easy, right? Except for it's so easy that I didn't do it. I thought, that's no big deal. That's really simple. I'll get that done. That's really easy. I'll do that later. I was supposed to do that now. Okay, I will do that later. I'm going to set another reminder before I go to bed to take that photo of myself. And then that reminder comes up and I snooze the alarm because, again, I tell myself, that's easy. That's not a big deal. That's not really challenging anything. And guess what, guys? I forgot. Was that commitment? Was that being disciplined? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so I am disrespecting my own boundaries, my own goals, my own dreams. I'm disrespecting myself by not staying committed to the things that I said that I would do. How often do you catch yourself doing this in your own life? How often do you say you're going to do something, but the excuses creep in? Maybe it's too easy. Maybe it's too hard. Maybe you don't have time, or maybe you'll just start tomorrow. What excuses creep in? Mine are always, I'll get to that. Well, that's no big deal. I'll get to that. And then days and days and days go by. Yes, it's easy to do. Yes, it literally took me 2 minutes to take this photo this morning. Because I ended up doing it this morning. As soon as I looked at my list of things to do, I thought, shit. I let myself down. And I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I've learned enough about giving myself grace and knowing that I'm not perfect. But hell, if I would just give it my all and stick to my word, wow, that would be incredible. But I'm human, and the excuses, they creep in. We do this with nutrition too. We say, I've had 6 days of eating healthy. I'm going to have a cheat day, even though it's not really in my meal plan. It's not really in my diet. It's not really in my whatever. I deserve a cheat day. Okay, great. You could eat that stuff whenever you want, for one. You don't deserve any, you don't have to deserve food. Food is just food, right? Food is just a source of energy for your body. You don't need to treat it as a reward, or what's the opposite of a reward? I'm having a brain fart. You know what I'm talking about. Punishment. Okay? But imagine if you just stayed committed to your meal plan. You wouldn't have that like guilt or that excuses about not sticking to it. Because I know me personally, when I have a cheat day, I'm like, oh, I deserve this. Or, you know what, I don't even call them cheat days anymore. I just don't even, I'm not even on that bandwagon anymore. Like, I don't really like follow diets to that sense, because I feel like you can really, really go down like a negative rabbit hole. I really try to focus on nutrition and what my body is craving, and trying to focus more on whole foods versus processed foods. Easier said than done. I know this isn't something that you change overnight, but just imagine if you said you were going to give up alcohol for 6 months. That's a long time to give up alcohol for somebody who, you know, is an occasional drinker, right? Imagine if you were going to give up alcohol for 6 months, and you're out and about, 3 months in, you're like, man, I've been sober for like 90 days. And then you go to a party and everybody's drinking but you. You would feel pressure to drink. You have now put yourself in a vulnerable situation where your excuses will start to creep in, and you may fall off the bandwagon of your goals, nobody else's, but you put pressure on yourself because of the situation that you have put yourself in. This all goes back to you have control of you. So if you have set goals for yourself, how can you start to set yourself up for success? Maybe you avoid those parties that you know people are going to be drinking at if your goal is sobriety. Maybe you start to hang out in fitness groups that, you know, or have some sort of accountability if the thing that you're working on is fitness and nutrition. Maybe if you're working on writing a book, you write 5 pages every day, no matter what. Even if you just write blah, 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 this is me writing blah, blah, blah. You're still doing it. You're creating a habit, and you are staying committed, disciplined to your goal. I know this kind of puts a swing on some things that I've said in the past, you know, and I've been listening and reading a little bit more, and I am very much an action taker. I said this before. And so when I think of doing something, like, I just do it. But then I quickly get bored. I'm one of those people that moves on, like, what's next? Like, let's go where the fun is. What's next? And it is hard for me to stay in the same lane for a very long time, like an extended period of time. So like if somebody wanted me to do one thing over and over and over and told me that I could make, I don't know, like, you can make $1 million if you do this one thing every single day, I'd be like, yes, I'm all in. And I would do it for 2 months. And then I would get bored. And I would say, what's next? And my mind would start to wander and say, well, this isn't for me. This is boring. This isn't fun. My excuses would start to creep into what I had committed to 2 months prior. People do this at the beginning of the year with their New Year's resolutions, right? Their excuses start to creep in. Oh, I guess I didn't really want that goal. Maybe I was shooting too big. I don't really have time. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Excuses. Excuses are taking away your power. They are disempowering. How can you choose a better feeling thought? How can you choose a more empowering thought? Like me, for example, this morning I said, it's so funny how these thoughts are so sneaky too. And learn to observe your brain like a toddler. That's what I have found works best for me, is like when I'm sitting there and I'm having these conversations with myself. Yes, I have conversations with myself all day long. And I say, oh, I see those excuses creeping in. You were going to tell me it's no big deal and that I should just not even worry about it. But I said, nope, we committed to this, Sasha. We committed to this. You need to do better. You can do better, so you should do better. Enough of this half-assing stuff. Because I am. Sometimes I'm just like, let's do it, let's get it done. I don't really take time to look at things. I don't really stay committed to things long term. I'll do it, and I'll do it right now. But the longevity piece, the discipline piece has always been missing for me. And so today I took full responsibility for not staying committed to what I had given myself yesterday. I take full responsibility. That was on me. I fucked up. How can I do better today? Well, those same 5 tasks are on my to-do list every single day. And so this goes to show like time management skills, right? If I would have created the time and space to do this in the earlier half of the day, some people are early birds, and some people are night owls. You need to figure out what time of day you have the most energy, and that's where you're going to get 90% of your stuff done. So for me, I'm very much a morning person. I'm a day person. When the evening comes, my brain kind of shuts off and I kind of check out. And I should have known, like if you send me things to do after like 4 p.m., like I'm like, it'll just have to wait till tomorrow. That's how my brain operates. If you send me something at 4 a.m., it will probably be done by 4:15 a.m. Like I am very high energy in the morning and I want to get shit done in the morning. So today, to set myself up for success, because now I'm like, oh, yep, you knew that, Sasha. You tried it and it didn't work. So how can we fix this? So instead of putting it on the back burner again and pushing it out, I have now moved up the 5 things that I need to do on a daily basis to create success in my life. I have moved those to the forefront of my calendar. I have moved those to the beginning part of my day. I have moved those to the morning hours because that is where I have the most energy to spend on these tasks that are going to push the needle forward. Am I making sense? Let's just do a little check here. Like, how are you feeling? How are you processing this? I want you to think of all the excuses that you say in a day. And if you have the opportunity, write them down. Write them on a piece of paper, write them in your phone, do something. Jot down every excuse you say to yourself throughout the day. And then I want you to look at those excuses and say, is this true? Am I sabotaging my own success because of lack of discipline, because of lack of commitment? That's me, guys. That's me. I'm only human, and I'm over here just doing the best I can with what I have. But when we know better, we need to do better. So this is me just showing up as I am, hoping to shed some light on discipline, shed some light on excuses, being committed by sharing what I did wrong yesterday. And it was a big aha moment for me today because I started to spiral and I was like, no, it's okay. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. It is a big deal. It starts with the little stuff and it bleeds over into everything else in your life. If you start slacking on the little things, what makes you think you're not going to slack on the big things? Instill these traits into your personality today if you want to be a disciplined, gritty, determined, badass motherfucker. You need to do this shit today, not tomorrow, right now, right freaking now. Do it. Say it. I am committed. I am determined. I am disciplined, and I am bigger than my excuse. I am stronger than my excuse. I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to prove myself wrong. I can do this. I can do this. You can do this. I'm here cheering for you. Catch you next time, guys. Have a kick-ass day.